Welcome back, friends, for our reading and writing day 3. So we've been talking all about communities, and we've been talking about school communities, and you guys were sharing with me how you are a community helper in your school. Today we're going to continue talking about communities, but we're going to talk about a bigger community. So we have our school community, and then our school community is part of the Fort Wayne community. Remember, Fort Wayne is the city you live in. So I'm going to show you on a map. Okay, so we have all the United States right here, okay? And then if I zoom in, there's Indiana. Can you guys see Indiana right there? And I zoom in, even smaller is a little city right there. Well, it's not very little. It's called Fort Wayne. That's where we live. So Indiana. Oh, no. Oh, let me pause, I think. Okay, I'm back. I don't know what I did there, but I lost my map. But we are part of the City of Fort Wayne community. So today we're going to talk about helpers in our community. And this is really, we had planned before the whole coronavirus, but the helpers in our community lately have been just really, really important to us because there's a lot of people out there working hard to keep us safe and healthy, working harder than they've ever had to work before. So those helpers in our community are very important people. I know you can write them letters, and there's some drop-off points if you want to write letters to some of our community helpers and tell them thank you for all the hard work that they're doing. Because most of us are getting to stay inside or work from home and do our school from home so we can stay safe and healthy. But some community helpers, they have to be there to help us stay safe and healthy. So we're going to read about some of those helpers in our community and those important jobs in our city, our community. Fort Wayne community, okay? Again, this is on Epic, okay? And here's my computer. I'm going to read it from there, but right now I'm going to hit assign, and I'm going to assign it to all of you. So it's not a read to me, but you could go back and try to read it yourself if you want. Maybe there'll be a quiz at the end. This is by the same author. So the book kind of looks similar, the setup, Bobby Kalman. It's nonfiction, so it's going to give me information of lots of photographs. Can you guys tell what community helper is right there? Looks like people that might help rescue. Actually, I'm looking, it kind of looks like they might be in a helicopter. Wonder how they help our community. Let's read and find out. What is a community? Well, we kind of already know that a community is a group of people that work together, right? A community is a place where many people live and work together. Community helpers are people who make communities cleaner, safer, and better. Who are the helpers in your community? And I can already tell from my picture some of our community helpers there. Look at the picture and see if you can see who are some of the helpers we might read about today. Talk about it with people around you. I see some kids dressed up as some community helpers too. Some community helpers are builders. I wonder how builders help our community. Doctors, teachers, and librarians. All these people help you. Let's read and find out more about how they help us. Buildings. Remember, this is a heading, so it tells me what this whole page is going to be about, right? Buildings and roads. Communities need buildings where people can live or work. Builders build houses, offices, schools, and stores. They also build roads and bridges. Builders use these machines to do their work. Bulldozer, some labels here, bulldozer, digger, crane, cement mixer. Electricity and water. People in a community need electricity, and lights, computers, television sets, and many other things cannot work without it. Electricians are people who make sure that communities have electricity they need. People need clean water in their homes. They drink water and use it to have baths and to wash their clothes. Plumbers are community helpers who put in pipes that carry the water to our homes. Teachers and librarians. Teachers make learning fun and exciting. They teach us how to read and write. They teach us math, science, and social studies. Librarians help us find the books we need. Some librarians work in schools. Some librarians work in community libraries. It's kind of like we have a library at school. There's big libraries which have been closed lately because of Corona, but normally you can go there and they can help you. So they're important helpers in our community too. Oops. Skip a page. Nope. All right. Other school helpers. Some children walk to school. Crossing guards. You guys have some crossing guards. If you're a walker or car rider, you might see them. Even at bus riders, you guys might see them out there. They're very important helpers in our community. Crossing guards make sure that children cross the road safely. School bus drivers drive some children from home to school. School nurses take care of children who are sick at school. Principals make sure that everyone follows the school rules. And caretakers clean schools and fix things. Who are your school helpers? Let's take a minute and think about some of our school helpers. We talked about it last time, so turn and share with somebody about some of your school helpers. Medical helpers. Very important right now. They've been taking good care of us lately. Medical helpers are doctors, nurses, and other people who keep us healthy. Some medical workers work in offices. Dentists are doctors who care for our teeth. They check our teeth and fix them. They teach us how to have healthy mouths. Ooh, emergency helpers. Emergencies are dangerous things that happen suddenly. Emergency workers help find people and take them away from danger. Paramedics bring sick or hurt people to hospitals. They take them to hospitals quickly in ambulances. They care for the people until they arrive at a hospital. Firefighters. Firefighters fight fires in buildings. They also fight forest fires. They rescue people and animals, and they risk their lives to help others. Firefighters drive big trucks to fires. I see a label, fire truck there. How about police officers? How do they help our community? Police officers protect people in their communities. They make sure that people do not break the law. They help people who are in trouble. Police officers talk to children about how to be safe in their communities. Kind helpers. Volunteers are kind people who help other people. They do not get paid for their work, but their jobs are very important. You can be a volunteer too. You can help the earth by planting trees or picking up trash. How else could you help? Let's take a minute and think about how else can we help our big community. Cleaning up trash, planting new trees. How else can you help your community? Making sure that you don't throw litter on the ground. Making cards for our special community helpers. The end. And look, there's a little quiz right there. So if you want to take that quiz and read this again, you can. Okay? All right. So today you do have a writing assignment to go with everything we've been learning about community and community helpers. So today you're going to write 3 sentences, okay? Your first sentence is going to tell me about one helper in our school. So we are talking about our big community, but today we're going to write about just our school, okay? So I want you to write about one helper in our school, one job, a community job at our school at Croninger, and one way that you help in your school community. So I'm going to think of, okay, one. So remember, here's what you're going to write about. One helper, a helper. That's your first sentence. One job, and how do you help? So that's 3 sentences. Parents, I want you to help them go through their checklist, making sure they start with a capital, because we're almost in first grade, so we should be writing 2 to 3 sentences, okay? Using word wall words, stretching our sounds, making sure we have spaces, okay? So a helper at our school, a job at our school, in our school community, and how do you help in your school community? So I'm just going to think for a second about what I want to write about. Parents, what I'm doing right now, you can kind of get the idea of the process that we usually go through. So before we start writing, we need to think of an idea. So make sure you have paper that you can draw a picture and then have room to write 3 sentences. All right. So I'm going to write Miss Wyatt because she helps us learn all about being a good citizen. So Miss Wyatt is a helper at Croninger. Okay, that's going to be my first sentence. I'm going to go ahead and start writing that. Okay, Miss, I'm going to start with a capital, Miss space Wyatt, because it's a new word, but it's a name, so I'm going to start it with a capital Wyatt, and you stretch it, okay? Parents don't have to spell everything for you, right? I don't spell things for them at school. Parents, they use their word wall, and they stretch their sounds if they don't know how to spell it, okay? Miss Wyatt is, word wall word, is a helper at space Kroninger. Remember, we're going to use our editing checklist to make sure everything makes sense. Parents, you could spell Kroninger for them if you want on a sticky note so they'll have it. I'll go back and read my first sentence. Miss Wyatt is a helper at Kroninger. What do I want to write next? My next thing I'm supposed to do is a job at Kroninger. A custodian. That's like Mr. Tubbs. He cleans at Kroninger. So I'm going to write about a custodian is a job at Kroninger. A custodian is a job at Kroninger. All right. A custodian is a job at Kroninger. 7 words. I'm going to point to where I'm going to write it. A custodian is a job at Kroninger. Okay? So first word I need is A. I'm going to start it with a capital A. I do not know how to spell custodian, so I'm going to need to stretch it. A space custodian. O-D-E-N. Now, before we add a new word, remember we have to go back and read what we already wrote. A custodian is, word wall word, I-S. A custodian is a job. I can say it sounds in job. J-A-B. A custodian is a job at, that's a word wall word. A custodian is a job at Kroninger. All right, and my last sentence I'm going to write about is a way I help at Kroninger. And I'm going to say, I help by sweeping my classroom. You guys have all had that job, right? You can think of some other ways you help your classroom, okay? So I help by sweeping my classroom. 6 words. I start it with a capital because it's a new sentence. See how I have my period here? Because I'm writing 3 ideas. So I help, go back and reread before I add a new word. I help, space by, word wall word. I help by that's an S blend. I know 2 E's together says E. Sweep. Sweeping. I remember ing says ing. I help by sweeping my, that's a word wall word, I help by sweeping my classroom. Classroom. Okay. Now remember, I don't have it pulled up here, but I'm going to put your checklist on here so that you can check and make sure you go back, check for capitals, periods, and all of that. You can go through that with them, parents. And make sure that it makes sense. So I'll put that on PowerSchool. I want you to take a picture of your writing. I want you to illustrate it. I want you to take a picture of it on Seesaw. And I want you to share it with me. I want you to use the microphone to read to me record what you wrote, and make sure you have 3 sentences, okay? You're going to tell me 1 helper at Kroninger, 1 job, and 1 way you help the Kroninger community, okay? I can't wait to see what you guys write. So you can go over to Seesaw and I'll have something there for you. Actually, you can just take a picture, just add to your journal to the green plus sign, take a picture of it, and then read it to me and do a green check mark, and I can see that later, okay? All right, I will see you guys probably next week or on Zoom. You guys, make sure you're getting outside, having lots of fun, and finding some time for things like Go Noodles and fun things like that, okay? Alrighty, and there's also in your mailbox on Epic lots of community helper books because that's what we're focusing on in our reading for a little bit, okay? Have a good day, guys. Bye.